Hathor and the resurrection of Osiris. In ancient Egypt, the god Osiris was a symbol of both life and the afterlife. He was a wise, just, and beloved ruler who brought peace and prosperity to the land. Osiris, along with his wife Isis, ruled over Egypt, ensuring that the land thrived. However, his brother Set, consumed by jealousy and envy, grew resentful of Osiris' popularity and success. Set crafted a devious plan to take Osiris' place. Set created a beautiful sarcophagus, richly adorned with gold and jewels, and presented it as a gift to Osiris. Osiris, unaware of his brother's malicious intent, climbed into the sarcophagus. In an instant, Set sealed it and cast it into the Nile River, where Osiris' body was carried away. Set believed that with Osiris' death, he would claim the throne of Egypt, and indeed, for a time, Egypt was plunged into chaos. Isis, devastated by the loss of her beloved husband, embarked on a long and perilous journey to find his body. After searching tirelessly across the land, Isis finally discovered Osiris' remains. With her great love for Osiris, she used powerful spells to temporarily bring him back to life. However, Osiris could only stay on Earth for a short time before he had to journey to the underworld to reign over the souls of the dead. The son of Osiris and Isis, Horus, grew up with a burning desire for justice. He vowed to avenge his father's death and restore balance to Egypt. Yet, Horus was not driven by rage alone. He knew that true strength came from within and that he needed guidance to lead his people. This guidance would come from Hathor, one of the most powerful and compassionate goddesses of the Egyptian pantheon. Hathor was not only a goddess of love, beauty, and music, but also of life, death, and transformation. She was known to bridge the realms of both the living and the dead, ensuring that the cycle of life remained balanced. Her power was rooted in nurturing and renewal, and she had the ability to bring peace and healing where there was turmoil. Isis, understanding that Horus needed to tap into deeper spiritual strength, directed him to Hathor. Horus traveled to Hathor's sacred temple, which was surrounded by towering golden columns that shimmered with divine light. Inside, the air was thick with the sound of music and the graceful movements of priests and priestesses performing dances that symbolized the eternal cycle of life and death. The temple itself seemed alive with Hathor's energy. As Horus entered the temple, he felt a profound sense of calm wash over him. He approached Hathor, who stood as radiant as the sun, with her majestic cow horns and solar disk above her head. Her presence was both powerful and gentle, an embodiment of divine love and wisdom. Horus knelt before her, his heart filled with both sorrow and determination. "Great Hathor, goddess of love and life, I come to you seeking your aid," Horus said. "My father Osiris is gone, and Egypt suffers under Set's dark rule. My mother, Isis, has told me of your great power, and I ask you to grant me the strength to avenge my father and restore peace to our land." Hathor regarded Horus with a serene yet knowing expression. She had witnessed the struggles of gods and mortals alike, and she understood the balance of life and death like no other. She spoke softly but firmly, "Child of Osiris, the power you seek is not found in vengeance alone. It is found in love, compassion, and the willingness to forgive. True strength is not driven by hatred, but by the purity of the heart. You have much strength within you, Horus, but you must allow it to flourish with wisdom and peace, not just anger." Hathor placed a hand on Horus' head, and in that moment, a surge of energy passed through him. His spirit felt lighter, filled with a newfound clarity. Hathor's blessing did not just strengthen his body, it filled him with a deeper understanding of his purpose. She bestowed upon him the gifts of love, understanding, and spiritual resilience. "You are ready now," Hathor said. "You will find the strength not just to defeat Set, but to heal the wounds that have been inflicted upon your people. It is not only by winning battles that you will restore Egypt, but by teaching your people the true power of love and unity." Horus, empowered by Hathor's blessing, set out to confront Set once more. This time, he was not driven solely by revenge. He was armed with the knowledge that true power came from a place of balance. Horus and Set clashed in a fierce battle, but Set, unable to match Horus' spiritual fortitude, was ultimately defeated. Horus' victory was not just a triumph over Set's tyranny, but a victory over darkness itself. With Set's defeat, Horus took his rightful place as ruler of Egypt, but his reign was different. He ruled with wisdom and compassion, guided by the teachings of Hathor. Egypt began to heal, and the people, once fractured, now came together in unity and peace. Horus had learned that true leadership came from a place of love and respect, and he shared this lesson with his people. Osiris, though still in the underworld, continued to watch over Egypt, and with Hathor's help, the cycles of life, death, and rebirth continued in harmony. Hathor's role as a goddess of both life and the afterlife ensured that Egypt remained in balance, with each new ruler carrying the light of her teachings forward. Each year, the people of Egypt celebrated the triumph of Horus and the gifts of Hathor. Music, dance, and song filled the air as the people honored the goddess who had taught them the power of love, compassion, and spiritual resilience. The story of Hathor and Horus became a symbol of hope, transformation, and the eternal cycle of life and death. And so, Egypt flourished once more, not just under the rule of Horus, but under the eternal guidance of Hathor, the goddess of love, rebirth, and cosmic balance. Hathor and the wrath of Ra. Long ago, in the grand kingdom of Egypt, Ra, the sun god, ruled over the heavens and the earth. His golden chariot carried the sun across the sky, bringing warmth and light to the lands each day. Ra was not just a god of power, but a god of compassion. He loved the people of Egypt, and his warmth nourished them, much like a father watches over his children. His daughter, Hathor, was his pride and joy. She was known for her beauty, kindness, and her deep love for the world she protected. She was often seen dancing in the fields or playing her sacred instruments, bringing joy to all who witnessed her. However, as the years passed, the people of Egypt began to grow arrogant and selfish. They forgot the importance of respecting Ra and his divine gifts. Temples lay in ruin, and the once celebrated rituals were neglected. The people became distracted by their own desires and pleasures, and their devotion to Ra began to fade. Ra, seeing this neglect and disrespect, grew deeply troubled. He was not accustomed to being ignored or disrespected. In a moment of fury, he called upon the cosmic powers to punish the people who had once been so dear to him. He summoned Hathor to his side, intending to use her strength as a way to restore order to the world. As Hathor descended from the heavens, she was transformed. Her gentle and loving nature was overtaken by Ra's wrath. In this new, terrifying form, Hathor's eyes glowed with fiery intensity, and her voice thundered like the storm. Her skin turned to gold, her head adorned with the fierce crown of a lioness, and her body became powerful and imposing, radiating an aura of vengeance. Her presence was enough to bring fear to the hearts of all who saw her, and the earth trembled in her wake. Hathor's rage manifested in terrifying storms. As the sun dipped below the horizon, she would release torrential rains and violent winds, causing floods and destruction. During the day, she would send the sun to burn the land with its unbearable heat, making crops wither and rivers dry up. The people of Egypt cowered in fear, not understanding that their disrespect had brought upon them the wrath of a goddess they had once adored. In the heavens, Ra watched Hathor's fury unfold. His heart ached as he saw his beloved daughter wreak havoc on the land, knowing that it was his anger that had caused this transformation. He longed to restore balance and peace to the world, but knew that only Hathor, the one he had raised with love, could end this cycle of destruction. He knew he had to intervene. Ra called Hathor to his celestial throne. The goddess, whose heart was heavy with the weight of her rage, reluctantly answered her father's call. When she arrived before Ra, the god spoke to her with gentle but firm words. "My daughter, Hathor," Ra said, "I summoned you to restore order, but in doing so, I have caused much suffering. The love and beauty that once filled your heart have been clouded by anger, and you have become a force of destruction. You are the goddess of joy, of life, and of creation. I ask you, return to the spirit you once carried and restore the balance that has been lost." Hathor, looking down at the destruction she had caused, felt a deep sorrow rise within her. She remembered the days when she danced with the children of Egypt, when she sang songs of harmony and joy, and when she was loved by all. But the anger that Ra had ignited in her was so powerful, it had consumed her every thought. Ra continued, his voice full of wisdom. I know the pain you feel, my daughter, but I also know the goodness within you. You are my heart, and your love is your greatest strength. The people have lost their way, but they can still be saved, if you remember the kindness that once defined you. Only through love and forgiveness can this suffering end. With these words, Hathor's heart began to soften. She looked into the eyes of her father and saw the love he still held for her. Her fierce exterior began to fade as she realized that she was not just a goddess of wrath, but also a goddess of compassion. The destructive energy that had enveloped her slowly dissipated, and she began to remember who she truly was. Ra, seeing this change in his daughter, smiled. He granted Hathor the power to heal the land with her own hands. He gave her the gift of music, for in her melodies, the world would find peace. He also gave her the gift of dance, for through her movements, the people would find joy once again. Hathor returned to the world she had once loved, her heart now full of mercy. As she landed upon the earth, she began to sing, and her song was like a gentle breeze that soothed the hearts of all who heard it. The storms ceased, the sun softened its rays, and the crops began to grow once more. The people, realizing the error of their ways, rushed to temples to honor Hathor, offering their prayers and songs of gratitude. With each passing day, Hathor's presence brought peace and prosperity. She restored balance, not through force, but through the love and understanding that she and Ra had shared. The people of Egypt learned to respect their gods once more, and Hathor's blessings flowed through the land. She became not only a symbol of beauty and joy, but also a protector of motherhood and family. In the years that followed, Hathor was celebrated in festivals of music and dance, where the people would honor the goddess who had shown them the power of forgiveness and compassion. Ra, watching from the heavens, was proud of his daughter and the world she had helped restore. Thus, Hathor's story became a timeless reminder that love, when nurtured and shared, is the greatest power of all. Destruction can be undone by compassion, and even the greatest of storms can give way to peace and renewal.